Namaste to one and all. Welcome to my channel. This is lesson plan part 5. Previous 4 parts I have done, and in the part 1 I have given the general instructions according to the National Curriculum Framework and what are the major parts of the lesson plan, what are the important things the teachers have to note down. That I have done, and I have given you the general instructions and specific learning outcomes, activities, etc. But it was not, or they were not in the form of format. Let me tell you, in the format I have done the video number 142, and I have given you some inputs to get ideas regarding the lesson plan, that is all. And here, this one I have written 2 years back, this lesson plan. Really, I want to rewrite it on another page, but anyway, some attachment to these papers, that is why I am explaining it with the help of these papers itself. And if you find little difficult, please forgive me. Then here the experiential learning is a lesson plan. Here it is sustainable development and learning outcome. Yes, what about the learning outcome? Student will be able to understand the need of sustainable management of resources, and they are identifying the issues which are the sensitize the people of local community. So the children understanding the sustainable management of the resources. And as it is a sustainable development experiential learning, it needs 5 days to complete that. So time required here it is 5 days. That can be variations there. And so they are understanding the concept. After all, only they are having the field trip or planned visit, like an experiential learning. Here, setting the stage for learning. So the check for prior knowledge. The class will be divided into 5 to 6 groups and asked to discuss and write differences between renewable and non-renewable resources, limited resources. So the difference between renewable and non-renewable resources, one important thing is that it's related to time period. Resources which can be renewed, within a particular period of time is known as renewable resources. Resources which cannot be renewed within a particular period of time, it is known as non-renewable resources. Then what about the pre-activity phase? The activity should be age appropriate. Age appropriate, and teacher will check. Before that, let me tell you, this sustainable development, I wrote it for the class 10, and this is applicable from class 6, 7, 8, 9. Majority of the classes you are learning about the sustainable development, but the things should be inappropriate to the age. Wise the lesson plan should be created, because what is done for the 10th may not be the same for a 6th standard or 7th standard child. Little difference may be there. That is all. Then check the feasibility of the activity. Visit the waste management plan prior to the visit. So check the feasibility of the activity. Then visit the waste management plan prior to the visit. Inform principal to advance principal. Inform principal in advance about the date, time, and number of students going to visit, and ensure the reflection sheet also. So they should have the reflection sheet also with them to write down the notes regarding the visit. Then resources required: ICT, internet connection, transportation, teaching aids, teaching materials, NCERT book, papers to record their observations. Then implementation. So in order to implement the topic sustainable development, some sparking curiosity should be created, introducing some creating curiosity that you can ask. The students can observe their own habits and note the kind of waste they are generating in a week. Yes, what are the ways they are generating in a week? You can ask that type of question. So they will start to think what are the ways they are creating from Monday to Saturday, Monday to Sunday, or Sunday to Saturday, like that. Then make a list of resources which they use at their home and how they can use it in sustainable. At home what they are using and how they can use it in sustainable. So what they are doing in home and also in school also, what are the waste materials they are generating after consuming certain things. Then and you have to compare it. They can use it in sustainable manner. Compare with the other groups. Several groups are there. You have to compare it with the other groups. Then third point is that the above activity will be followed by what? If questions. If questions should be created. If there is no electricity for 5 days in your locality, if you have to spend a day without water, no fuel in your vehicle. So, if some assumptions are given and ask to think about it, so they will understand the importance of sustainable development. What is the meaning of sustainable development? Fuller utilization of resources without wastage. We have to minimum wastage, and whatever you are taking, suppose water you are taking, fully utilize it, and minimum wastage by because whatever resources they are scarce, so these scarce resource should be used for the future generation, and our resource allocation, resource utilization should be in an eco-friendly manner. The plastic or something you are using and throwing it out, you know that it will affect the soil, so it should be degradable. So if, they should think like that. So otherwise, no electricity or no petroleum products, and so no water. What they will do by thinking that they will understand the importance of sustainable development. Then, what experiential learning strategies will be used to achieve the lesson objectives? Students can observe their habits and note the kind of waste they are generating per week in office or canteen, and what is thrown and what can be reused. Especially some functions going on, after all you can see a lot of waste, isn't it? So how you can minimize it? And providing the experience, that is the learners, that four groups observe, record and form opinion and reflect. So the four groups are observing, they are recording and forming opinion and reflecting. A trip to nearby waste management. So first of all they are thinking and writing, after all a trip to nearby waste management plant. So make a list of probable uses and how they can be effectively used. So they make how the waste products can be used for how effectively they can be used. So for this purpose we can see 5 R's. What are the 5 R's? Reduce, recycle, reuse, recover, repurpose the resources in a tabular format. So in a table like that, you can write the product and write whether you can reduce the usage of that, whether you can recycle it, whether you can reuse it, whether you can recover it, and whether that can be used for repurpose. So like that. Then, so that way you have to make columns and write. Columns, 5 columns you can write about 5 hours and write how to utilize it. Then drawing inferences, record their findings and compare. Think creatively of ways in which use of these materials. All the groups will present their findings. Yes. So record their findings and compare. Think creatively of ways in which they can use these materials, is whatever the plastic cans or that, how they can use it further, and all the groups will present their findings. So how they will record, in what format. So that is the thing, what are the things they have to use. Then conclusive step, the records and observations are discussed how these 5 R's can be implemented in real life. There comes conceptualization. How to assess late key aspects of learning, show videos about traditional practices followed in our daily life. So show videos about traditional practices followed in our daily life, then connecting to real life. So here conceptualization means you are understanding one thing in the class, the teacher is telling about sustainable development or whatever it is the concept, and after all you are observing, going on, looking, what is it like that, observing, watching, and after all you are finding out the correct meaning of that particular concrete word into an abstract word, that is experiential learning. Concrete word, concrete concept, after all you are observing, finding out, and you are reaching an abstract way, that is you are understanding what it is, that is. So here what about the traditional people were doing about the waste products? So show videos about traditional practice followed in our daily life, then connecting to real life. Students will reflect upon their findings and will prepare a report. So based on their findings, they will prepare a note report, what kind of changes there should be implemented. Then extended learning. Developing a skit on the implementation of 5 hours in the daily life. Developing a skit. They are making a skit. That is, when we are doing the skit, that is an art integration. Art integration can be done with the help of music, dance, art and craft, and theatre. So this skit comes under theatre, 5 hours, how the 5 hours can be used in the daily life through a dance form, through a drama, through a skit, through lyrics, you can make use of it. You can convey the message to the people. Visit the National Science Center to cover about to know about sustainable management of resources. So visit the Natural Science Center to know about the sustainable management of resources and assessment. How knowledge constructed, that is how the children understood, they are learning it, what are the objectives they have learned, they are doing it through short movies, they are designing the pamphlets, they are designing the brochure, they are designing the rally to show that they are designing the play cards, like that they are, what they understood, they are making into the real life situation, what they can do. So this is one of the formats of sustainable development. After a function also, what is happening in the surrounding, how it can be reduced. So like that, you people should be, especially you are uh, the new generation should know about it. So there, we can have a sustainable way of life where we can protect our nature, protect our resources as far as possible. Thank you all.